Another week, another Strictly Auburn. I'm Jake here with Eli. Eli, another big week of Auburn sports. You ready to get into it?
Let's get it, Jake.
All right, so Auburn takes on the Legends Classic in Brooklyn on Thursday today when we are recording, and tomorrow on Friday. Today, Auburn will take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The two have never played before. I was kind of curious whether or not that had happened, but nope. So, no history between these two. Auburn will take on the Legends Classic for the second time in the last 5 seasons, so looking to capture their second victory here. Um, Eli, give me some thoughts heading into this game up in Brooklyn against the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, I think both these teams are pretty evenly matched. I think Auburn has the edge offensively with Janai Broom and Aiden Holloway and Denver Jones and those guys starting off pretty solid this season. But the spread's sitting at about 14 points favoring Auburn. I think, like you said earlier before we hopped on the pod, that's a pretty good. If you're a bet man, that's a pretty good line. I think it's going to be a closer game than that. I'm thinking around 7, 6, 8 points in Auburn's favor. I think guys like Aiden Holloway and Janai Broom are going to have a great night tonight. I mean, Janai is having a pretty decent start of the season. He's leading our team in points right now. He's leading our team in rebounds as well, and then you have Aiden Holloway leading their team in assists with 4.5. So I think those two guys are continuing to do what they do, and then Denver Jones is shooting right at I think 50% from the three. So that's always good to have a 50% 3-point shooter. I can't remember last time we've had a decent guy like that shooting from the three, maybe like Bryce Brown or somebody. But other than that, I think it should be a good game. Jake, I know you got some Notre Dame guys that you want to mention that we should look out for.
Yeah, so I just want to say that this Notre Dame team is a team that can go on scoring runs, right? Guys like Marcus Burton put up 26 a night in the first 3 games of the season. Like he's more or 2 games. Sorry, he's more than capable. 26. Did I say 36 or 26?
26.
Okay, 26. Puts up
I hope not
26 in the first
36.
2 games. I hope not either. But Auburn's prone to giving up those big nights as we've seen in the last 2 seasons. But the key to this game for Auburn is going to be their backcourt defense, right? From their two small
Hmm.
guards. Aiden Holloway obviously struggles with size against a team like Baylor. And Denver Jones isn't the best defender, neither is Trey. So I think that's something we have to keep an eye out for moving forward. But yeah, Marcus Burton is the guy to keep an eye out for. He's going to lead this Notre Dame team probably in minutes tonight. Big game to start their season. So keep an eye out for that name. Guys like Aiden have to step up on defense. I don't know if it's him specifically or Bruce or coaching staff have to put our defense in a position to succeed, but I think just manning straight up and switching on everything, I don't know. They're going to expose us shooting, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think somebody who's been playing pretty good defense is Dylan. He's had quite a couple of big blocks this past game against Southern Eastern Louisiana or whoever we played. I can't remember. I think Southern Louisiana,
Southeastern
um,
Louisiana.
Southeastern Louisiana. Yeah. So I think if he always I think gives us a little spark on defense, obviously with his robust energy going down the court and doing stuff like that. And then you have guys like KD who's he's gotten a couple of steals this season so far. So guys like that, they come in, they give us a little spark on defense, and KD could give us a spark on offense. He did that last game. So I think same way Notre Dame is, they can go on scoring runs. They can they can grab momentum quick and run with it. That's basically what this Auburn team has been for the past 6 seasons. So
Yeah, I mean another name to keep an eye out for Notre Dame, Kerry Booth, the guy that shoots he shot 45% from deep first 2 games this season. So just those are the kind of guys that have career games against Auburn in the last couple of years that we've been doing this show. I mean, whether last year, I don't even remember who it was, the West Virginia game. Do you remember that? The guy put up like 38 points or something. The
yeah,
game that
then we had
Auburn
the
should have won
Baylor kid that
happened against
dropped.
Baylor this
Yeah.
season already. Like Auburn's prone to that. So Kerry Booth, if Notre Dame puts up a fight tonight, I expect Kerry Booth to play really well and have a huge impact on this game. Whether it's going on a streak of 3 pointers or I don't know, just a great series that'll give them the lead at some point. But yeah, I think the key to this game for Auburn is defense, 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 defense.
Right. Yeah.
So like I said before, Auburn's given up. They've allowed about they've allowed opposing teams to shoot about 47% from the floor. That's not going to work against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's offense isn't too high powered, but again, like I said, capable, more than capable. So defense, I'm curious to see how these kids react to playing in the Big Apple. I mean, that's where I am right now. I'm going to be there tonight. I think that more than anything. So defense, and then again, yeah, the travel. So playing in the Barclays Center, which probably triples Auburn Arena. How does that energy impact these kids? Because this team isn't one that's played well in big tournaments in the past, right? Whether it's SEC tournaments, March Madness, it's just a team that hasn't shown up in the second half when games count. So this will be a really fascinating thing to see Bruce Pearl coach team play in the Big Apple in a big time arena.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the location and the time and setting doesn't have too much of a play with Auburn not playing good in games. I think you saw us doing that in the regular season, not being able to close out games. It carried over to the postseason in the tournaments. So I think that was just a lack of, Auburn not having the athletes and maybe the depth to do that. So I don't think. I honestly think maybe this tournament will play in favor. I think these guys love traveling. They love going to places like Israel and seeing sights and experiencing things they've never experienced before. So hopefully maybe it might play to their attitude and give them a little bit more juice and a little bit more excitement to play in such a iconic place like New York and Brooklyn, where basketball has been huge the past feels like 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, you know about it.
It's the
Basketball,
Mecca.
yeah, it runs that city. So I mean, I think for them to have that opportunity to play in such a amazing place like the Big Apple and Brooklyn and stuff like that, where the basketball history is so rich, I think it might help them in that. And being able to play in a huge arenas would be dope for them. I feel like they'll love that.
Me too. And honestly, it's kind of prep for Hoopsgiving in Atlanta.
Yeah,
They
in
play
Atlanta,
that
yeah.
game. I think it's December 9th against Indiana. They play in
Yeah.
State Farm Arena where the Hawks play. So this is, if anything else, this is prep for another Big Ten matchup, which we're all excited for. But this game
Yeah.
tonight, Eli, I have a quick question for you. This is a little hometown bias. What's the first thing you would do? You're in New York. What's the first thing you're doing?
I think the first thing, it's definitely gonna get some food, but it's between these two things of food. It's gotta be like a slice of pizza, obviously, because it's New York. Or I just want some like really, really good Italian food. I'm a sucker for Italian food. And then
Yeah.
maybe the second thing would be to get just like a really good bagel somewhere, because me and you, we've been friends since freshman or sophomore year. You're always talking about how good the Italian food is and how good the bagels are. So I need to come up and visit one of these days for sure.
Hell yeah! I'll bring down some bagels when I come back. I will be at Black Seed today in the city. If anyone is listening in New York, which of the 10 people that listen, I don't think anyone's in New York.
Hey, it's
But who
it's
knows?
half it's half New Yorkians from your side, half Alabamians from my side. So you might get
Well,
some New York.
hope so. Hope so. So Auburn takes on the winner or loser of Oklahoma State St. Bonaventure tomorrow night
Yeah.
at 6:30. I'm sorry, at 4:30 or 7 o'clock. I don't know where 6:30
Hmm.
came from, but keep an eye out for that. Let's flip to football for a few minutes.
Right.
Auburn takes on New Mexico State in Jordan-Hare Stadium, 4 o'clock on Saturday. I'm viewing that as more of a tune-up game than anything else going into the Iron Bowl after Thanksgiving. Auburn hasn't won 4 straight games since 2017 when they won 5 straight, ultimately, obviously beating Alabama in the Iron Bowl to cap off that season before losing to Georgia in the SEC Championship. We have no worry about the SEC Championship, but the Iron Bowl, obviously a big game. Eli, what are you watching for in Saturday in this tune-up against New Mexico State, a team that will play for a Conference USA championship?
Yeah, I mean New Mexico State definitely isn't a slouch. They've been playing pretty good this season. Um, I definitely don't feel like Coach Hugh Freeze is looking past this game. He knows that New Mexico State's a good team and that we need to prepare accordingly for this game. I mean, last week we weren't able to do a recap video, but what a hell of a game from Auburn. I mean, a lot of people were knocking Auburn for not being able to go on the road and play decent football. Well, we proved everybody wrong on last Saturday, going into Arkansas and just giving it to them. I mean, we had a great great couple of drives on offense. Defense played a hell of a game. 19th consecutive turnovers now, which is insane. Keontae Scott with the first punt return, what felt like 6 or 7 years for a touchdown. So I think in New Mexico State, if we look like we did it against Arkansas, which I think we will, we got to continue to be playing good football, just looking sound on offense and defense. And I think we have to do everything right. We can't start out slow, play sloppy, get a lot of penalties, and have that going into the Iron Bowl. So we just got to look crisp and clean and ready to go, and just play 4 quarters, score a lot of points, and then go home and hang out, have some Thanksgiving dinner and stuff.
I think for me, what I'm looking for is that second half against Arkansas. We actually stepped on a dude's throat, which we hadn't seen from this Auburn team in a couple of years.
Put the pedal to the metal, man. Just go.
Right. This team went into the second half, and I think we were saying in our Strictly Auburn group chat, like, they're going to come back. Arkansas is going to come back. We're going to let up. We're going to let up. We've seen this a million times. And you know what? They didn't. Auburn never gave them a chance. Hugh Freeze just kept calling plays, kept scoring touchdowns. Rivaldo kept doing Rivaldo things. Jay Fair took one of the nastiest hits I've ever seen.
He got right back up, bro. That was
he got right back up. That was impressive. His brain might be a slushy now, though.
I think he's all right, man. He posted something on Twitter about that, but he's a tough kid. I like that. Getting up.
But that was awesome. Like I'm looking for that second half energy against New Mexico State. Does Auburn and do we keep putting up points in the second half? Because I don't think this defense slows down this Auburn offense the way they've looked the last 3 weeks. I don't. But on that same note, do you think Peyton plays this entire game? Because we haven't seen Robbie in 2 full games now. We've seen 0 Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, so from what my mind or from what I saw before the Arkansas game was Robbie seemed like he was being left out. He seemed like it felt like he was kind of stepping away from the whole team aspect of the game and stuff like that. But Auburn kind of released a couple of videos, like a hype video, and Robbie was kind of giving Peyton Thorne his flowers and congratulating him and just hoping he plays well, which I think is a good thing. But besides the point, I just wanted to mention, like, I'm glad Robbie is in a mindset of, hey, Peyton Thorne's the starter. I'm not getting my chance. It's okay. I want us to succeed as an Auburn, not as Robbie Ashford. So that's good on that part. The only thing, I don't think Peyton Thorne will play the whole game. I think we'll score enough points where we have to sit him probably like around the 4th quarter. I don't know if Holden goes in. I don't know if Robbie goes in. That's what I'm saying, because we didn't see Robbie. And I think what I read somewhere that was Holden was the second quarterback or backup quarterback now.
You're
so right. My guess is we'll probably see Holden. Maybe kind of just plan for the future type deal, kind of get him some reps. So that's what I'm assuming will happen.
I like that. I would like to see Holden. I mean, we haven't seen him in any excuse me, we didn't see him in any of the out-of-conference games to start the season, so I'm not sure. Personally, I don't know that we see Holden on Saturday, just because of what this coaching staff has shown to do this season, and even in blowouts where Auburn's getting killed, we didn't see Holden. So I'm not getting my hopes up that we'll see him. I would love to. I really do hope you're right, and I do hope we get see what Holden looks like in the pocket. As for Robbie, I don't know. I don't really see where he has a place on this team if all he wants to play is quarterback. I just don't see it. He's not a better quarterback than Peyton. He might be a better athlete. But I'll take Peyton's quarterback ability and leadership over anything Robbie does on the football field. So I don't really know where his position is on this team if all he wants to play is quarterback and if that's what he is stressing to play. So that's the only thing I'm keeping an eye out for. When it comes to this Auburn team on Saturday, New Mexico State's a team that can put up points, but Auburn's a defense that can force turnovers, get stops when they have to. Alabama in the Iron Bowl is a team that will run the ball down Auburn's throat right up the middle every single time, and it's a matter of can guys like Marcus Harris and those dudes and those cats step up. Is that something you're looking for on Saturday, and what does Auburn have to improve in heading into the Iron Bowl next week?
Man, Jake, this has been the first time in a long time that I've been this excited for an Iron Bowl. I think we legitimately have a good shot to win this game. I mean, the way with all the momentum kind of leaning our way these past couple of games, Auburn having we looked like we actually had a solidified offensive plan last Saturday. Hopefully, it looks like that this Saturday. I think going into the Iron Bowl, you let Jarquez Hunter do his thing. He's been running out of like on fire. I mean, he is
Bat out of hell.
bad out of hell. I wish we would have had him the whole first half of the season. But if he's doing it now, that's when it counts. So let Jarquez Hunter do his thing. Damari Alston had a great game against Arkansas too. So did Jeremiah Cobb. They're all running the ball like hell. So if we can do that against Bama, which is a tough task to do, we should be fine. And then let Peyton Thorne sling it a couple of times. I think we should be okay offensively. This is the first game that I've been worried about Auburn's defense because I know we have a really good defense, but guys like Jalen Milroe, I mean, he is turning into a true dual threat, really good quarterback, and I'm kind of nervous because beginning of the season against University of South Florida, he did not look like that. He looked scared. He wasn't throwing the ball good. I don't know what Bama is feeding to him and his cereal or his breakfast, but I think I don't know what it is because he just Bama is okay. It can develop. Jake, Bama could take me and you if we were in the strength and weight program. Could probably turn us into all SEC linebackers or receivers. I mean, the way they develop guys is unheard of. I don't know how they did it, but Jalen Monroe is like a mix between Bryce Young and Jalen Hurts now, which is scary. So it's going to be a tough task.
Before we go, I did have one thing I wanted to show you. I'm not sure if you've seen this. I don't know if my camera will focus, but it's that meme. It's from Alabama Barstool, and it says, having to go into Jordan-Hare to play on Auburn team that just so happens to be peaking.
Right, exactly. I mean,
anything can happen in the Iron Bowl. I'm excited. Eli, I know you're excited. Connor's pumped for this game as a New Mexico State family alum in the Iron Bowl. I'm sure we'll have stuff coming over Thanksgiving break. We're going to hop on Twitter Spaces tonight, Friday, Saturday before the game, and hopefully we hit a Sunday recap and maybe a preview of the Iron Bowl in the week to come, talk some Thanksgiving, talk whatever else we got going on. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Strictly Auburn, Fridays, Sundays. Will change with basketball, but we will keep y'all updated on Twitter, on X. Follow us at Strictly Auburn. Like, subscribe on Eagle Eye TV, and go find us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I don't know any other podcasting sites. That's all I got.
Yeah.
War Eagle.
Yeah, that's it. War Eagle, guys.